can't understand it. I drink soda and it keeps filling back up again. I didn't bring my Queen guide. Who won? Oh, I know who won.
90 Copperculture Parade. Rainy, overcast day, but we're going to have a parade anyway.
The parade is just getting underway right now with the kiddie parade.
And here we have George Graffness coming on down the way.
My brother right behind you with one. I was just gonna say. Is it loaded though? Yeah. Hi there. How are you? Yeah. Smile, Michael.
If that's the case, while we wait for the next transmitter to come, we could take it here. You got that sheet, huh? Steve? Well, our parade well underway on a rainy afternoon for the 8th annual Copperfest parade, as we're just getting up. The Grand Marshals George Graffness and Jill Bauer have already passed by us. Veterans Color Guard and the American Legion going by us right now. Just a little light rain coming down, and probably the first time I can remember having a rain during a parade here in Oconto. We're going through the Veterans Color Guard right now as they go by in cars, all covered over. Brave souls out of the back making sure that they're going to get as wet as the rest of us coming on through now. Just a very light rain. Here comes Mirabelle Bake and his wife Marge. They're riding in an open convertible. They're definitely going to brave the elements at the same time this afternoon. It's really not too bad, a little cool, and but definitely if the rain would hold up, it would, wouldn't be bad at all. Yes, I think so, until the transmitter comes. Here comes Van Sistine, the State Representative Van Sistine, and welcome on WOCO Radio. We are having some technical difficulties with the radio, and we're going to be replacing our transmitter momentarily, and as soon as we do, I'm sure we'll probably break into there. Murphy's Law always seems to work, and there's always a problem one way or another that happens, and we really apologize for that. But we're going to try to clear that up as soon as we possibly can. In the parade right now, we went through the Kitty Parade, the Veterans Color Guard, the American Legion, Mayor Bill Bacon, his wife Marge had came through earlier, and this is State Representative John's guard. Now this is his car, and I don't see Johnny anyplace, just see the car itself coming on by, so whether he's walking along someplace or wherever he might be, I don't know. Kathy Zeiske for State Treasurer. Now that's following John Gard. Now that makes sense because Kathy Zeiske and John Gard are slated to get married later on this month, and which should make it very interesting because Kathy Zeiske is in State Assembly, but she will not be rerunning for that. Here is the Oconto High School Band, and noise around, we'll try to pick them up. Hi, Johnny.
How are you guys?
Good.
Hello, how are you?
Lest you feel sorry for the Oconto High School Band marching in the rain, I don't think they notice it that much, but they're only going part of the route, so they're not going to make it all the way around. Following the high school band here is Toby Roth, Congressman Toby Roth, full dress suit, walking in the rain, the light rain as we have right now here this afternoon. Now let me make sure that I use this microphone up close because that might help us on the radio just a little bit for the noise. And if I can get a hold of Mary Kay, yeah, if you see the Chicago cleaning lady coming by with a transmitter, maybe you can either motion for me or you can help plug it in real quick and switch over. Okay, now if I can catch on my list here without the Chicago cleaning lady Dorothy helping me today, I'm kind of working through this. The Oconto Lions Club following next. This should have been the Optimist Club. Well, it's quite all right. We'll work along with this okay. That might be coming up afterward. It says We Serve, and Mark Thompson in the center of that with the Lions Club. Yeah, sounds better close until the new transmitter comes. Thank you. We'll work on that up close. And thanks a lot, Mark, for that information as he goes on by. Always something has to happen when you don't want it to happen, and that's exactly what happened now when the transmitter blew out. This is the Breakfast Optimist Club of Oconto, and you're walking. Your optimism should have brought sunny skies, and it certainly will. And a whole batch coming on behind here in 10 kids, at least, count them, more than 10, on bicycles. Okay, behind us we should have a Queen candidate, and this is Terry Longsign, which is no longer Queen candidate. It is a festival princess, Terry Longsign, and one of the 4 very beautiful, beautiful girls who are Queen candidates this year. And of course, if you listened last night, you already know that Lisa Steyer is the Copper Culture Festival Queen. And nice smile, Terry. She looks really, really good, complete with the umbrella. Maybe might have happened, bathing suits might have been something to work with. AM radio inside. Now that's the idea, you gotta have a cover to go with it at the same time. So wave to the nice people here. They go on by. Rhodes Cherapata Funeral Home will follow them with a float, and there was supposed to be the band that comes along with that. Hi, Sandy. Hello, Ray.
Oh, all right. You want it?
Oh, for me, unless you need that, you know. And Brother Ed coming through, as he does every year, I think for the last 8 years, complete with cross. Following Brother Ed will be the Shriner Super Cycle, sponsored by Dolls and Brothers 3 coming up. First of all, with the truck, with Doll, Chrysler, Plymouth, Dodge, and Brothers 3. And the clowns on the back of that. They're moving along pretty good, as a matter of fact. Well, don't forget the deck party tonight at Brothers 3, live music with Rapid Transit. Have to mention that. And we're going to have to tell you if we can get a break of all the things going on all over town, from the Old Store Pub to Brothers 3 to whatever. The Green Bay Shrine Club, and they have a whole batch of people. There's somebody missing. Who's missing up here? Got a couple missing. Goodness gracious. And the Shriners, of course, pedal that less fortunate may walk in the Shrine Hospital. And let me tell you, those guys are the Shriners, and I'll tell you that every year they do a job. And I don't mean in the parades. I mean they do a job that is worthwhile in the hospitals afterward, and with the money that's there. And this, of course, is what that's all about. The Shriners are all about. I'm not a member of the Shriners, but I do say for sure that I'm proud to know the Shriners, and I'm proud of what they do. Okay, that's the Green Bay Temple of the Shriners coming on through, and I think our transmitter may have arrived. And for the listeners who are listening, and that we're going to attempt to hook that transmitter up as quick as we can, and we'll probably be off the air momentarily while we transfer antennas and transfer microphones over, and hopefully it's the transmitter, not the antenna. And if it is the antenna, then we're going to transfer antennas as well. So we'll try to get that all together for you as soon as we possibly can. Okay, this is the Cub Scouts, pack number 4084, and they have the Cubbies on the back of that, complete with the flags and all. And let's see if I can find out where we are. Boy Scouts should follow with that. It says Donna Gant after that. I don't know if she is the sponsoring this or whatever that works with it. It's loyal, helpful, friendly, and courteous. And they have the tent setting on the back, the campfire, which is not lit, of course, and the Scouts in uniform around the campfire. Of course, they're waiting for that to warm up, right? Bay Lakes Council, Wisconsin Boy Scouts of America. We have a little break right now in it as we have a bicyclist way down the line, and that bicyclist is performing on the unicycle and all rest. I had a schedule here someplace, and in all the process of moving around, I must have lost my schedule, because I was going to tell you what's coming up. Oh, here it is. My handy-dandy blue schedule. I knew I had one of those floating around here someplace, because coming up today, let's see if I could just go down this real quickly. The model train display at Al Clavicus's home. That's between right now and 5 o'clock this afternoon. There's the all-women tug-of-war at 12 noon. That'll be coming up. Music by Night Owl at City Docks, 12:30 to 3. This is the Oconto County Fairest of the Fair coming on through. And that's Float with Kate Caesar. No, it says Brenda Wolf on the back. What do we got going here, huh? That must have been who's in charge of it. That's not right. It says Brenda Fair. Way down here, sponsored by Cruisers, is the Shriners Clan Gathering Bagpipe Band. And we're going to pick them up as they go. And in the process of going through this, we're going to transfer over, because we're going to have to shut this transmitter off and hook the other one up. So we'll do that as soon as we can now.
How are you doing? You get to be standing?
Yeah, I go.
All
Let's do that.
right.
I already showed it.
Is there any caramels in there?
Down in front. I thought you were...
Thank you very much. I'm glad to hear that. And okay, I have to check the volume levels.
She's right here. Let her check.
I don't know where I set the levels at. It's on panel 2.
Can we have a
Okay, we're back here now and just setting the levels to go through this, and it's going to sound a little different, but we should be all set to go.
replay?
Okay, let's get us back on here a little bit, and it's still a little bit on the noisy side, isn't it? It is not cleared up at all. Okay, we'll be right back. Okay, how's that? Hang on. You've got trouble where? It's at the station. Uh-oh. Trouble at the station. Okay, we had a minor little breakdown or change here at the station. We're back here right now, and I'm not too sure if we're coming through or not. Are we coming through back at the station yet? This is the Roadrunners Parade unit, and we are far behind where we're supposed to be. In fact, I'm not even sure where we're at the moment. Okay. We just went through the Shriner Roadrunners, and those with those little bitty bikes that just fly around, the Roadrunner unit.
What do you want to know?
I don't even know if I hooked the antenna up to the new transmitter. I got nothing A little bit of a hold up in the parade right now is where the Shriner Roadrunners that we just saw on videotape go through a little while ago are performing now down towards the middle of Main Street. This float here is not at all marked with the boat, but somewhere along the line we should see Kathy Freeze, the county clerk candidate, coming through. There's also Riverside Nursing Home float will be coming through down the road just a little bit. My radio is dead, so I'm not getting anything here at all.
This must be the skiing Patriot Ball.
We might as well bring it back. There's nothing else I can do. Okay, and we're just about, it's almost worse than it was before, right? Does that sound as good as, or is it worse than it was? Okay. Well, it's real noisy in mine. Like you got the volume way turned up and overloading on the control board. But maybe it's overloading in the tape recorder level that you're coming through, because it's a definite mushiness as an overload. But the problem is obviously not here. The problem is at the radio station. And it has to be back into the receiver. It's back in the receiver, back into the in the tower housing, and you probably wouldn't know where to find that because you'd have to get Larry would have to take care of that if he were out there. But yeah, it sounds like it might be distorting going into the. Tell you what, take that. Don't go through the tape recorder, but go into the phone input jack. And see if that sounds a little bit better that way, because it's distorting through the tape recorder. And we still have a hold up on the parade here on our side as
It was mushy sounding, but you could hear you. You could pick out everything you were saying.
it sounds like the receiver at that end is. And we're advertising right now the water ski show at the city docks at 1 o'clock this afternoon and at 2:30 this afternoon, and also on Sunday from 1:30 and again at 3 o'clock. That'll be all at city docks. Yes? Okay, instead of going into the tape recorder in the way you are right now, go into, it's 2B or something like that. It's just about a notch or two over in the jack panel, and then you use 2B and you use the phone position on the board.
Yeah,
Yes.
All right, there we go. Woo!
Yes.
Further over here.
These are the skiing patriots coming through right now, and there's almost enough water. There's almost enough water for them to water ski. Missed. Okay, and that sounds better. It definitely has a better tone to it than what it did before, so we'll go with that particular run. Now, these are the skiing patriots, as a matter of fact, and they're on skateboards, Steve, if you've ever seen them water ski on skateboards, which makes it a heck of a lot easier than water skiing directly on the concrete. Now here's the Kathy Freeze float. Kathy Freeze is up for Clerk of Courts. It says the utterly best choice, and they have a large cow on top of that. So, well, I guess utterly. What else can you say, huh? Okay. And Kathy is on the back there. Hey, Kathy! I think she's milking that for all she can, Dorothy. By the way, since we messed up at the beginning, welcome to the 8th annual.
Thank you. Can we have a replay?
We can have a replay, I suppose. This is Riverside.
Sit up at the other end and watch it go through.
Go through. Okay, this is Riverside Nursing Center, and it looks like some residents from Riverside Nursing Center, complete with trees. Is that a big teddy bear on the back?
Yes, ma'am.
A big yellow teddy bear?
Yeah, with the big red heart.
With red hearts below it, and the kids beneath it with the little teddy bears, and of course, the senior citizens on the back. The wealth of knowledge that they have. Lena Medical Center with small town medicine. It says with a heart. And they have a girl dressed up with a nurse and hearts on her stockings as they go by. And heart balloons behind them, but I think they lost their oomph. They're dragging rather than flying up. This right behind me now, and I've lost my place here. Can you read what that says, Dorothy? Could be the First American Lutheran float. And it certainly is, because Pastor Reese, you've never looked better. Complete with the white collar and the old outfit. And they have 2 church pews on there and people who are sitting in there. First American Lutheran Church, 120 years of service. You can count on us to care, it says after that. And I wonder if that one there is the Oconto Memorial Hospital. And it certainly is. You can count on us to care. And that's a float draped, the banners draped over the back of a... Okay. It says Jay Conley for Oconto County District Attorney. On the back of that, does not show up on my sheet. Might have been someplace else along with it. And again, we have a little bit of a break in our parade. My parade sheet is like a piece of tissue paper right now. Although the rain has pretty much let up except for just a drop here and there. It really is not that difficult. And it's you're sweating.
No. But the sun was out at the radio station. It was out here just a minute ago. Way
Was it?
up there.
Way up there,
Yeah.
huh? I have only so much room on my microphone cable here. I can't figure out. Oh, I see. My chair is on it. That's why that didn't work. Now, this one here could be the Methodist Church float.
Aren't you?
Follow me, and I will make you fishers of all people, is what it says on a cross, and that's located on top of a boat. A small boat that is being pulled along, and they are handing out balloons. And it says, catch the spirit on the balloons. Hey, that's a kind of a neat idea. And on the back of it, it says Oconto United Methodist Church. They're doing a good job with this. They're getting them in order. This is the Oconto Lanes Youth Bowlers, Youth Elk Bowlers.
But she's on a roller skate.
And she's on roller skates going. That's one way to get through a parade. Go by on roller skates. We're starting to lose our signal again little by little as it's picking up noise for some reason or other. And what did this one say here? I didn't catch it.
This is the youth bowlers also.
It's what?
This is the youth bowlers.
Okay, on this sign here?
Oconto.
Behind here is a float, could be North Shore
Town History Bay, it says.
Yeah, Bay on the Mystery, or Mystery Bay. North Shore Bank is supposed to be next, but it says Classic Flowers Limited on the flowers, so on the balloons. So I'm going to have to. Yeah, I'm going to have to assume that that's from Classic Flowers, because I can't see any other sign on it. Then we have a little one card. That's by Classic Flowers. Okay, it's got to be, because here's Esther Zach coming through now.
It's right around the bend. Join us at the sea, at the bay, at the beautiful bay. Come our way. Come on. It's only raining violets today. Bye, love.
That was Esther Zach, if you hadn't gathered by that. And I'm sorry for the little noise in the background. You would have heard her a little bit better singing, but with Classic Flowers.
Anyway.
No, she was making them up as she went. This is Michikani Riders coming through right now, and they're not on my sheet here any place, but that becomes normal, I guess, and in a matter of a parade of this length. But the Michikani Riders, and as you mentioned before, Dorothy, they have to be a little bit on the cautious side because of the wetness and the blacktop.
Yeah, the hooves will slip on that.
Well, horses' hoofs traditionally on blacktop, it's almost like going on ice anyway. And then you add a little bit of water to that, and it makes it even a little bit more difficult. Whoop, whoop, whoop.
He did slip.
Little slipperiness there. Oh, they have
I
to
think
be.
when he went to stop him, the horse kind of...
Yeah. Horses are normally very sure-footed animals.
Little hat on.
A little hat on, a visor on the one horse, on the little pony, the white pony. And there's brown horses and white horses and all dressed up in riders. He's going to ride backwards. No! I thought that's the way you're supposed to ride. I mean, when I first got up on a horse, that's the way I ended up, and I figured that way you can see where you was. But he turned around on the horse. He's able to do that sort of a thing.
That's a good horse to trust.
Yes. And we mentioned this before because the horses have to be very good to be able to withstand all of the people without being spooked.
Yeah.
We got a band coming up way back there, but first of all, there's a float before that, and that's the Calvary.
Oh, it's your favorite, Walt.
Yeah, the
Pooper Scoopers.
the Pooper Scoopers, and they've got some already that they picked up, and it looks right. This is the Calvary Lutheran Church coming up right now at the float, and these are all trees. And that's Reverend Klessig, I believe, on the back of the Calvary Lutheran Church, growing in God's grace. And he's got a poncho on. And the kids that he has on there don't have ponchos on.
Oh, yes, they do.
Some do, okay. And they have trees on there with pine trees and all various other sundry things like that, and a watering. Now, following the Calvary Lutheran Church, we should have a, it says Queen Candidate. But I don't see the Queen Candidate. I see vote for Marge Bake, for goodness sake, and that's Clerk of Court for Oconto County. And that's coming through right now. That is not the mayor's wife.
Right.
You got to keep that straightened out.
Right.
We're supposed to have had a Queen Candidate, which is not a Queen Candidate as stage of the day comes through, but following that, which we don't have the Queen Candidate, is the American Drum and Bugle Corps. Let's give a listen. just to kind of let you know, as they were going by, you heard the drummer with a kind of a clatter. He's banging on a pair of cymbals, the kind that you bang back and forth together. And there's a girl holding those two cymbals marching backwards the length of this parade.
And her heels never touch the ground.
Her heels never touched the ground. No, and her eyes were closed most of the time.
I would think so. I'm getting dizzy
That might be.
with everything so close.
This is the American Legion, who are sponsoring the American Drum and Bugle Corps, sponsored by the American Legion, post number 74. And that's their float with a group of boys. They look like little leaguers on the back. Little League Boy Scouts and all of that. They sponsor Red Cross volunteers, scholarships. 1990 Copperfest Princess. This is Kimberly Hellman. This is the one that was supposed to be before that I was looking at. And she is one of the princesses. Now we know that there was a... Hello there, Larry.
Hi.
We are experiencing mucho problems.
What's the
At
matter?
the station.
Probably the receiver at the station, because we've tried 2 transmitters and 2 antennas, and it's still noisy. And I would gather that if somebody were out there and wiggled one of the input tubes or the crystal or something on that,
By the time I get out there, you're almost
it'll be cleared out. But you'll have to have that for this afternoon, because we will not be able to be on the air.
Okay, I'll do that this afternoon.
Be careful right now.
Okay,
I'll be ready right now.
this is Jareen's Lacuts, and you won't get scalped at Jareen's Lacuts, but you will get that copper culture tan. And they have Indians on all the way through. And for Jareen's Lacuts, all dressed up as Indians. Following that is Grandpa Z's Best Cheese, and Grandpa Z, Eddie Zahn, is in a rocker sitting back there with someone right behind him in a bear. And of course, Grandpa Zahn has his cane and blue cap and all that. Trying to keep up with the parade as it's moving through very quickly and give instructions at the same time. Gail Retzloff was supposed to be here, clerk of courts candidate, but I didn't see her come through. Or the First National Bank. Oh, wow, this big truck here. Tom Woodcuff Trucking with Gail Retzloff on the back of it. I'd have to be blind to have missed that.
But just this.
It says a new beginning. Yeah, not the big, yeah. Just the sign on the back of the truck. You can't miss that for sure.
There you go.
The fire engine coming up way back there will be with the First National Bank, but we have some riders, including a little rider on a little pony. That is coming through right now, plus a few other little riders, and some riding caboose behind. Here is a...
Can't sit on the saddle and ride, let alone hang on behind.
This is Patty Knotts. It says Copperfest runner-up, and to the Queen. And Patty Knotts, a very beautiful candidate as she was as well, is coming through. And she is the runner-up for the Copperfest Queen. And they're supposed to be up on top of these things, but it's a little bit wet for doing that, as the light rain has persisted throughout the afternoon. This old fire engine right now is the First National Bank of Wisconsin, sponsoring this old fire truck. Hit that again, huh? That's Richard yeah, right. Zonic and a whole batch of the employees of the First National Bank. This is Scott Truckload from Scott Worldwide. And of course we have Scott Towels. Hey, we could use some of those up here. Yo! One of those could help up here for sure. We use some of those to dry off, as a matter of fact. The old Scott Towels. So they have a whole truckload of them as they pass out the Scott Towels. And here we go with a roll of Scott Towels. Hey! Following that, if we could keep this in order, we're supposed to see Country Silks coming along, but I'm not sure what this is, Dorothy. Can you make this out?
No, Country Silks went through before.
Country Silks went through before? Okay, so they weren't in that particular order.
Baskets and flower arrangements.
This could be the
butterfly.
Cullerbill 4-H Club then.
I would think so, by Joy Campshire standing on the back.
That pretty well takes care of that.
She's
Joy,
done She's done it for many years.
Joy Campshire is a permanent fixture, as many others are. And this says they have a group of they're like little people on the back, and you can't believe how they're wiggling their
Tush.
their tush. Yeah.
Tush.
And doing it all up, and doing up a great job. The little people think that 4-H lights up the world, and I believe that's right. That's the
right.
Cullerville Badgers. They're right?
They're right.
Okay. Coming up next, Dorothy.
Riverside Bar.
Riverside Bar? Okay. Well, okay. Wherever on my sheet. But it says Riverside Bar, and they have surfing for 25 years. Surfing. S-U-R-F-V-I-V-I-G. They're out there in their bathing suits, and the sand is down there with umbrellas, and they're surfing along on the beach. And I think they're should have said surfing, but I think surfing right at the bridge in Oconto, the Riverside Bar. Coming behind them is the Sunshine Riverview Drill Team. And the Sunshine Review Drill Team is sponsored by Thompson's. And Thompson's grocery store and Old Store Pub and the whole works all together sponsored the Sunshine Review Drill Team. Let's give a listen. Very sharp. They're called the Sunshine Review Drill Team, sponsored by Thompson's. Part of the Village Raiders color guard, I would assume, because that's the bus that's behind them. And, of course, the truck right after that. And again, as I mentioned before, sponsored by Thompson Foods, Old Store Pub, Mobile Mart, and Car Wash. I had to get that all together. Following that is the Oconto Elks, number 887. It says on there, Elks Help. And they're on a semi-truck. I don't know where they get all these trucks at sometimes, because they certainly have to find a lot of them.
Stock lumber.
Yeah, it has a lot for sure. And that's what we're on right now, is a stock lumber truck. I heard that. There you go. And on the back of that, you're going to find flags of all varieties with people that are dressed in the early American, even British flags, in red and white, and the American flags. I can't get my hat off with the headphones. Sorry about that, folks. It just won't work that way. The headphones go with the hat. And our salutes off to the Elks for that. These colors don't run or burn. How about that?
I like that.
I like that too. These colors don't run or burn. Say lake to lake cheese following, please. And look at how they have a piece of cheddar cheese on the back. It's yellow and it's sliced in slices, and a little mouse standing by ready to go after that. Lake to lake cheese, please. And that is cute. That is very original. I like that. Not necessarily on our schedule here any place, but this is the past Copper Queens. And the 4 past Copper Queens that we have seen from before, yell out there. Amy Young, April Strom, Laurie Sullivan, Teresa Campbell, Laurie Brabant, Johnson, as she's known now, Laurie Zahn, and Cindy Grohl, or Dyke. And behind that is one of these boats by cruisers. And here we go, Dorothy. Every year we look at this.
Yep.
And Really looks good. One of the cruiser's fine line of boats. And the way the rain was coming for a while there, I thought we might need one of those. And I think I might have to go along here. Bayside escort service is coming behind. My sheet is completely and totally waterlogged. Here is that old wooden car by Tony's Bar. And again, for the listeners, the wheels are stumps. And of course, they're anything but round. The rest of the car is pieces of bark that have been taken off the side of the car and a big shot on the back. And he's got that thing to backfire very well. But again, I don't think he's going to go any more than about 2 miles an hour.
Don't read the sign on the back.
On the back has a sign, and can I tell you what it says? But whatever it says it happened.
Spell it?
Yes, you can. It says it happened. And here's Bake's old car, or that's Wayne's old car, one of the two. That's Dougie Bake in it, so that's got to be Doug Bake's old car, and it's probably an old Buick. And yeah, will your fingers open this page or turn the page, Dorothy? If I grab this in here, turn the top page. Okay, there we go. And behind that we have a group of old cars. And we should have Kelly Cleaning coming up someplace along. That's a truck. We have Seymour. Well, we have a group of old cars coming. And a lot of these others haven't come up yet. But all we could do is there's an old Ford, I believe that is. I should get Bernie Metzler here. He could tell me what these cars are.
Another Ford.
Another old Ford. Well, he's an expert on them. He wasn't around then, of course, but he's an expert on these old cars.
How would you clean those white walls?
Oh, beautiful white walls. There's green with a black top. You know, they oil these things down. There's a 1938 Dodge, I could tell you that, from the Norb Lohberger collection of Oconto, and that's a pickup truck. They all run so well with the big, wide white walls on them, and which really, really look good. You know, and you get an oil finish down on it, so it really looks great. They all run so well. Bernie Metzler is doing our videotaping once again, and as he's done for the last, this will be his 8th year, as for the rest of us as well. This is a 1966 Chevrolet. Well, we used to have a 1956 Chevrolet when we were first married,
You're right.
with those big white sidewalls
Sidewalls, you're
that
right.
we laboriously cleaned every time we washed a car.
Some of us.
I did.
Ah.
Yes. And following that is an older, and I don't know what year, Plymouth, with, you remember those visors on the outside of the car?
Right.
The sun visor that sat out there that used to gather the bugs, and if the wind was right, it would blow off.
My aunt and uncle had an old Nash with one, and every time they came from Missouri into Illinois, the stupid thing would blow off.
Yeah,
And then they'd come up in kibitz.
because they had to put it back on again.
Well, they left it off until they went back to Missouri, then they put it back on. But every time they came into the state of Illinois, over the line, off would go the visor.
Right. The old visor on the outside. Following this is, it says Tanner on the outside of the front of the truck. It's a bus. And it says vote for Robert Hicks, Clerk of Courts, Oconto County. Okay. Well, you could keep warm inside there for sure. And it almost sounds like somebody's at the other end working on something. Larry Walters is probably very wet because he was on a bus, not on a bus, but on a motorbike, working his way around. Larry Walters and Mickey Dowell were lining up the parade to get this all together in what? Dick Stockwell from Super Value was part of that, and there are probably some others as well. And it says Farmer State Bank, the bank for all people, of Pound, Oconto, and Coleman, local money working locally, and they have many of the workers there. We're 4 working together: Misty, Missy, Cindy, Mike, and Amy. Mike Deek, of course, was one of the people who were as judges for the copper culture, along with myself and I can never remember her first name, the weather girl from Channel 2, and I'm going to get really in trouble for that because I've done that the second time right now.
What's the weather girl's name?
Jill Bauer. I always forget her first name.
Judy.
Scott McCormick for Assembly.
Oh, look at them making...
We have elect Mike Baker Hodkowitz for Clerk of Courts. And as they come by, and Mike was here earlier as he was on part of the float for MAM. You didn't know Mike Baker Hodkowitz was running for Clerk of Courts.
Not until you told me.
Oh, okay. We have another one of these old cars coming through that is kept in such excellent condition because this is Wayne Bostwick from Wayne's Family Restaurant. Not the candy Wayne, a hamburger. Hamburger, yeah, okay.
Look at the cook.
From Wayne's Family
There's
Restaurant.
the cooking.
Our food, a Wayne's original kitchen band.
I love it.
And listen for the music.
Hey, Cheryl! Hey, Cheryl!
And they have the kitchen dumpling. They have all of the cooks on the back with the washboards and the pans, and they're working away at it.
Yeah, but look at Karen's eyes.
Karen's eyes are all, yeah, right. And there's no way I can describe that, folks. This is Lamers, and they have a little bus with 2 people can ride in it, and you can sit inside of it. Look at the little girl in the back of Lamers' bus.
Is she pretty?
Is she cute? And behind that is the horse and buggy rides, and I've lost on here right now. Oconto County Historical Society with a horse and carriage. Yes, sir. And the driver got up and he tipped his hat like every person should, and the girl got up and she curtsied,
You're right.
as every lady should.
We'll discuss that later.
This is the 50th year, by the way. What?
You tip your hat now.
I tip my hat, you curtsy now.
Right, but you can't do it because the headphones are on.
Do you know how to curtsy?
Sure.
You used to learn that in school, didn't you?
You're right.
Yes, I remember all the girls when we were in girls' school grade
In
school.
girls'
In grade
school.
school, had to. I wish I could go to a girls' school. Yes, had to learn to curtsy,
You're right.
and we had to learn to bow and put our hands behind us.
Because
And that.
that's in case we ever met the Queen of England or somebody. We had to know how to do it properly.
When we came from the playground into the school, we had to march to the beat of a drum.
No.
Yes. Okay, this is stock lumber, and of course, one of the things they're showing there is how to build a deck. And they have a deck on the back of a flatbed truck, which they had to borrow from somebody else because stock lumber ran out. No, they do have a stock lumber truck, and they have a deck built on the back of there, a 2-story deck. And they have things they're passing out as well. You know, they've always warned about throwing candy from these things, but the kids have been really good. They don't run out after.
No, but it would be nice if they just came over and gave it to the kids, because so many of the little ones
Don't get it?
Yeah, don't. And the older kids don't mean to, but you know.
Yeah. Oh, they have big candy pieces. Whoa. Ah, they're not.
And that does hurt when it hits.
Yeah, those are like big candy bars. Yeah. And pencils as well. Okay, we forgot to bring our bumper stickers and pencils along. This is Egan Machinery from downtown, from Oconto Falls. And they have a big old truck that they brought along, and umbrella in the back to keep dry, of course. Oh, there we go. They have little, whatever those are. Miniature frisbees. Now the Oconto Trail Busters should be next, and they have 3 trucks that'll be coming, supposedly. But they have a big truck on the back. And I wonder if this is part of the truck pull from last night. And it has all names on the back of this big old truck,
Yeah, that's
pickup truck.
I drive for you.
Well, that has to be the limo service.
Right.
And that's the name of it, I Drive For You Limo Service.
Right.
And that's what it says on the,
Drivers on the license plate.
right. And that's pretty nice. I should have a limousine service. That seemed like the way to go. No, huh? We have a taxi service for kids. This is Green Line Incorporated of Pound with this large John Deere tractor coming through in front of us. And it doesn't look as if it's done too much field work. In fact, it looks pretty clean.
Might have, and they just washed it up real good, you know.
Might be. It looks pretty good to me.
I wonder how Stephen and Matt would like one of those to play with in the backyard.
I'm sure they would. Oconto Electric will come up behind us. 1970, at least that's what it says on the On the side, Oconto Electric 1970. That's all I can tell you. That might be the year of the car. Behind that is Hobby's Hobby, Pioneer Bar. Harry's Hobby, Pioneer Bar 1961. That might be the year of that car. Continental. Uh-oh. It quit. It died in front of us. That Lincoln Continental quit right in front of us. Now they're going to push it.
They're going to push it out of the way.
Out of the way, yeah. It died, it quit.
Oh, that pupper don't want to move very easy, too. Either.
Take it out of gear. It honestly, the car stopped in front of us. I heard it just go chugga, chugga, chugga and quit.
Everybody has little red faces, you know.
Yeah, right.
driving for.
Jim Heisey, livestock dealer. Choice of dairy, beef, and cattle at 834-2977, right behind and going through us. And I completely lost it on this. Feathers, ancient artwork. And they have Indians with feathers on the back. It says the next generation, and they're all little papooses. This is H&S Rebuilt Automatics Incorporated. County Highway C, Oconto Falls, automatic transmissions by H&S Rebuild. They have their car behind it. This car, I don't know what it is. It is a collector's model, though. A Chevy Corvair. That's got to be a collector's model. This is Amores in the little one and a big one. And, of course, Amores with the towing service here in Oconto. And as they're going by, I'm going to try to find on my sheet if they're any place on my sheet. But I see them not. Okay, second to the end, but they're slightly out of location.
And even without my glasses, I could see.
Yeah, I didn't look that far. Well, they followed H&S Rebuilt transmissions real well, but we have a whole batch behind coming up. Behind this yet, so we'll have to watch and see what comes, and we'll just play it by ear. Amores, of course, has more candy. You could do better at this than you can at Trick or Treat.
You're right. You're right.
We have a car from WJLW-FM following behind. We'd be in this parade, but we're on the air. We need another vehicle.
Right.
Next year, Dorothy, that's your responsibility to set that up.
All righty.
Okay. Behind that, another stock construction, Sun construction truck with a boat on the back, a little boat, a teepee. This says Oconto Falls Lions behind it. And these might be all late entries, and it says don't use drugs. We have all of the people from the Falls Lions, the little kids from there. Just say no, and that is what they're working on right now. Just say no. Cocaine will mess up your brain. And behind that is the thing with Night Shift, which is, of course, the musical operation. They have a little bus and the music playing behind them, all pre-recorded, of course, with a generator on the front, not a long extension cord. And you can hear that. They're going to be at the Shiloh Lounge from 6 until 10 p.m. And on the back of that, they have two pretty girls under a beach umbrella. And this is a duck. Not the quack type, but the type that you can drive on land or in water. You don't see too many of those around here in army green, olive drab. And this little vehicle, I've never driven on one of those. It says U.S. Marine Corps on the back, and it looks like it'll go anywhere.
You're right.
This is Mount Pleasant. It says Ladder Company, an old hook and ladder. This is the variety that has someone on the back that has to steer. Here he comes. Here he comes. Come on over this way. Sponsored by Carbon Utility Contractors of Oconto. That looks like that's hard to steer, that thing. He's sweating that. I wonder if he'll make that turn down off of Madison Street.
Oh, yeah.
This is the Oconto Fire Department with their ladder truck right behind them. And I think this is going to pretty well end up our parade as they come along the back. There's the Oconto Fire Department. And I believe, judging from it, that's Naomi Pecor in her car. So that's got to be right down towards the end of the... There's some people we did not see. Because someplace in the line we didn't see the Copper Culture Queen, Lisa Steyer, and a few others. Of course, we might have been working on equipment as they went by, so there were a lot of people that we didn't see. Well, Dorothy, there we go. One way or another, we got this parade underway.
You're right. One way or another.
And I want to thank you and Bernie and Larry, who I'm sure ran out to the station, and Steve at the other end, who sweated out everything, and Mary Kay, who helped put the transmitter back on as we worked things around, and everybody else who gave us a hand trying to put this together. Our apologies for the noisy signal. We really don't know what happened. We tried our best to put it together and get everything together, and including changing transmitters, antennas, and one way or another. We're going to be on the air this afternoon, and I think I'm going to have to do some work and see if we can find out exactly what caused it. So, for all of us here in downtown Oconto, we'll be back on the air this afternoon at 3:30 from where are we going this afternoon? At City Docks. And Steve Austin will be on with us from City Docks. That sounds like Larry behind me. That's Steve. You're behind me yet. Okay, my Larry.